Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I'm sharing with you a Waldorf-inspired anatomy lesson for our main lesson block. We're using this book called Muscles and Bones by Charles Kovacs, and this is a resource that parents and teachers can use in putting together their anatomy unit. Today I'm working on lesson 2, and in this chapter it's on posture and walking. I am using our main lesson book, and I am working in the main lesson book to do this lesson, and then my daughter will be copying the lesson out of this rather than writing on a chalkboard. And so we're going to be working on this lesson here that talks about posture, and I have included some religious resources for this lesson, and then we're going to be working on the posture and the gait. We're starting this lesson with a very simple border, and I'm doing a curved line that mimics the spine, and I'm going to be using a lot of red and red-orange for a lot of the borders and the titles for this main lesson block. It seems appropriate since we're studying anatomy. I'm titling this lesson the adab of posture. Adab is an Arabic word. It loosely means the manners or high quality or distinguished action. For these lessons on anatomy, I am including a lot of religious significance for us and including other religious text for this main lesson block. So for this lesson, I intended to talk about the manners of posture and also related to the manners of sleep. All of the written portion that is religiously significant ends up getting written on a separate page and ends up getting included in a different lesson. So the written portion for this lesson, even though it is called the adab of posture or the manner of posture, it actually just reflects chapter 2 in the Charles Kovacs book on posture and walking. So for this lesson, or for all of our lessons in this main lesson block so far, we're ending up using the book by Charles Kovacs as our spine for this main lesson block. And I didn't intend to use this book solely as our spine. I did intend to use the Live Education Waldorf curriculum for anatomy. But the very first lesson in that book didn't quite suit our needs from both a religious perspective and from setting the tone for our whole main lesson block. So I ended up reading chapter 1 in Muscles and Bones and liking the format of that quite a bit. So we're going to continue with this for at least a few lessons before we start the main lesson block with the Live Education curriculum. So this is the written portion for this part of the lesson, but I decided that we need a little bit of an illustration, and I decided to use the illustration that was provided at the end of this chapter, and it's on the gait. I've titled this Posture and Gait. I'm going to do the simple illustration on the left side of the page and then the written portion on the right side, which is going to go into more detail about our proper posture with our gait. And then the illustration is fairly simple, but I did have to erase those footprints several times in order to get them to look right. And I didn't label any of the details. I just colored them in, and hopefully it makes sense for what we're trying to illustrate and what we're trying to portray for this lesson. So for this lesson, I mostly took content from chapter 2 on posture and walking, but I do have a few other resources that I have used for this main lesson block, and I do find that they're coming in more handy than I expected, which I am really happy to report that, because early on in the main lesson block, I found that I wasn't utilizing those resources as much as I expected. So this is what the final lesson looks like. They are on 2 different pages, even though they coordinate with the same lesson. I hope that you enjoyed this look at our anatomy lesson. Don't forget to check out the blog post that accompanies this video for more information on the resources that I've used, as well as links to all of the materials. You can find the link to that blog post in the description box below, or you can head over to my website at pepperandpine.com and search for anatomy. And if you'd like to see how we're homeschooling on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram and now on TikTok at Pepper and Pine.